Hello, my name is Timothy, and in this video, I want to address the dangerous misinformation being spread on social media. The United States has been facing the COVID-19 pandemic for months now, and people are getting tired of staying at home, wearing face masks, and maintaining social distancing guidelines. As people grow tired of fighting the pandemic, they look for information online to give them some indication of when this will all be over. Unfortunately, a lot of misinformation is spread on the internet. And when one of these people sees something online that says they don't have to wear a face mask, that they don't have to stay 6 feet apart, or that they don't have to stay home, there's an inherent desire to want to believe it. When people believe in misinformation, they act on it, which can put themselves and others in danger. The formation of beliefs based on what a person wants to be true, rather than based on evidence, is called the wishful thinking bias. This is one of many biases that all human beings have. A cognitive bias is a natural pattern in thinking that can lead to a misinterpretation of information. There are many cognitive biases that have come into play during the pandemic. For example, if someone is convinced of something that is incorrect, then they will have a tendency to only trust sources that confirm that incorrect belief. This is called the confirmation bias. When several people believe something, there's a tendency for others to want to believe it too. That is called the bandwagon effect. And when there is a perceived attempt to constrain someone's freedom, there's a natural urge to resist and do the opposite of what that person's being told. That is called reactance bias. If you want to see a list of cognitive biases for yourself and see for yourself just how bad the human brain is at processing information, I'll put a link down in the description. It doesn't matter how smart you are, everybody has cognitive biases that can lead to being wrong. That includes doctors, politicians, you, and me too. We need to be aware of our susceptibility to cognitive biases so we can look for the flaws in our own thinking. When you look for the flaws in your own thinking, you are engaged in an activity called critical thinking. Critical thinking is an extremely important activity that we should all do, but it won't make you always right. If you want to be confident that the information you spread is correct, then you must also practice evidence-based thinking. Evidence-based thinking is a way of thinking based on credible sources of information backed by evidence. There are several different types of sources of information, and they exist on a spectrum of credibility. The most credible of all sources would be a meta-analysis of several scientific studies published in a scientific journal. Published peer-reviewed studies tend to be more credible due to their rigorous peer review process. If multiple peer-reviewed studies say the same thing, then you know you've got good information. Sources of information that should not be considered credible include things like YouTube videos, movies, books, and most articles that you see on the internet. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot that can be learned from these sources, but you need to approach the information with a healthy dose of skepticism. It's good to have an open mind, but it's not good to be gullible. The reliable evidence needed to discern between fact and fiction can only be gathered through scientific experimentation or direct observation. If you liked this video, please let me know by hitting the like button. If you want notifications whenever I publish a video, hit the subscribe button. Stay healthy, think critically, and thank you for watching.